Hey guys, Artillery J here. I just wanted to take a quick moment to give you guys a message before we get this video started. I know it's been a little while since I put out a Fantasy Fridays episode, and actually, we're just going to go ahead and get started with it real quick, and here we are. So, basically, I'm doing this whole episode as a time lapse with a voiceover, and then we got the background music going there too. But, yeah, total footage, just what I kept, without time-lapsing it, was over 6 hours long. And with all of the battles and stuff that were originally in there, that I took out, as well as all the times that I died, and times that I went to my inventory and all that, it was well over, like, 11 hours, I think. So, a lot of footage to sift through. And it didn't help that I've been sick, like really sick for the past few weeks. I also started a new semester at school, so it's been a little hectic for me. Haven't really been able to put out a whole lot of videos in general, let alone Fantasy Fridays. So right now we are fighting the Ice Dragon again. So basically, if you don't know, this is the Dragon's Den, and I actually had to look it up because I've never played the Dragon's Den before. It's new with the iOS version and also the Steam version. So basically, you go through this huge dungeon, and excuse my chair. You go through this huge dungeon, and you have to fight all the dragons again. But they're about probably at least 5 times as hard as what they were originally. And every monster in this place is pretty tough. And then once you beat as you beat the dragons, it unlocks different seals, which you may have noticed when I beat the Ice Dragon there, that a couple of spots opened up. So yeah, it unlocks the seals, and then once you beat all 8 of them, you unlock the Kaiser Dragon, and you can fight the Kaiser Dragon. And then after that, you get a shiny new Magicite. It will be the last one that we get for the game, and then if you go back in, which we will do at the end, you can fight the Ultima weapon as well. So, yeah, I really had no idea where I was going, and so there are a couple of spots in here that I didn't edit out where I will get a little bit lost and kind of wander around a little bit, but that's okay. I still managed to keep the video. I'm sure that you can see by the number down at the corner of the video window. It should be around 30 minutes long, so not too bad, not too bad. Considering everything that I had to try to fit into the video, is not too bad anyway. I tried to keep most of the walking in the video, as well as the boss fights. So, and there's also an area where you can get knocked off bridges, like the Mount Zozo, where the dudes will knock you off the bridge, and then you gotta like go back up and try it again. But down in the hole that they knock you in, there are some pretty tough monsters down there, and I left those fights in as well, because they're almost boss fights, and I left them in the first time I got knocked down there. But killing them doesn't remove them permanently. If you get knocked down there again, they all respawn, so it's a little bit of a pain. There I unlocked the red dragon. He's loose now. So, I did die, like I said, a couple of times. It actually wasn't too bad as far as deaths go, but there were some times that I got caught off guard. The earth dragon really caught me off guard, and I really didn't come in very prepared. I went back out and I learned Ultima for every single character by using the paladin shield. Basically, you get the cursed shield from Narshi, and then you have to fight 200, I think it's 255 battles with the shield equipped. And it can't be equipped on Zozo, or not Zozo, Gogo. It has to be equipped on another character. And you fight 256 battles, and it turns into the paladin shield, and then the paladin shield works kind of like a magicite, where you have it equipped and it slowly learns magic, and the spell that it learns is Ultima, and it learns it at a 1% rate. So it's a 1-for-1 for the magic points, basically. Every magic point you get, it takes 1% off of what you need to learn. So, yeah, I did that for every single character. So every character knows Ultima now. Every character knows every spell now, as far as I know. I don't think that there's any new spells with the newest piece of magic set. I actually haven't even looked at it. I get it at the end, and then basically I immediately went back in, fought Ultima Weapon, and then shut the game down so that I could start editing video. So I did record this over the course of 3 weeks, little bits here and there. I did have to use the quick save function in order to do that because I was so miserable and exhausted from being ill. It wasn't anything serious, so don't get too worried. It was just like I couldn't get over this just nastiness. I was coughing and throwing up and just real miserable. So that's another reason why I decided to do a time lapse and a voiceover. One is because otherwise this would have been like probably 10 videos long. And the other reason is because it would have been impossible to have edited out all of the times that I coughed into the microphone. And I did try to mute it when I coughed, but you know, you can't get every one of them, and unfortunately I missed a lot of them. So yeah, this is the guy that actually had whooped my butt the first time I fought him, the Earth Dragon. I just in general wasn't prepared for the battle, but the second time I went in, I was. Okay, so basically I had Mog equipped with a the Moogle Charm, which removes random battles from whatever party he's in. So he was in the party that Shadow is the head of, so I do use Shadow a lot in this playthrough because I use that team a lot anyway, because I don't have to deal with random encounters. So I was able to go a little bit faster when I was at party. Unfortunately, you can't be the same party the entire time. You do have to use the other two parties to maneuver around and flip switches and stuff. So that was a whole thing, but actually wasn't too bad. This guy I did not know, the Red Dragon. You can't hurt him at all. You can see I keep doing 0 damage to him. You actually just have to kind of wait him out, and he just dies on his own, which I didn't know, and I kept wasting magic using Ultima and stuff, and then I realized I wasn't doing any damage. So, and there's another boss in here, the Skull Dragon. Jeez, that guy. The only way to beat him is to completely drain all of his magic points by using Osmosis, and he's got 14,000 magic. That took a while. He's the one that looks like he's like the little dragon skeleton. He's green. You'll see him here. Actually, I think he's maybe the next boss fight. Okay, so this is where you fall down at. And this guy actually killed me the first time I fought him too, because he hits really hard. You see, he already wiped half of my party right here. Like before I even started the fight, before I had a chance to react, he had taken out Shadow and Cyan. So basically, to beat him, you have to you can cast Stop on him. So if you do that right at the start of the battle, and then cast Banish on your party, he only uses physical attacks, so he'll just keep missing. But yeah, I didn't even have time to react to him the first time, so he did beat me. So this guy calls in more of himself. I did find out eventually, towards the end of the battle, that you can use Banish to get rid of him, but it does take a few times casting, so eventually I get him. But he almost beat me a couple of times. As you can see, he pretty much wiped my party down. Mog was the only one standing, and he had all kinds of status problems going on. But yeah, these guys cast like multiple status ailments on you, and just really mess you up in general. Plus they hit hard. As you can see, they just took Mog down in like a single hit. But I was trying to whittle him down and take him out, and then I take out the one dude, and then the guy that was left, he calls 3 more guys, like right here. Wait for it. Yep, right there. So I was like, man, what am I gonna do? And eventually I was just like, well, maybe if I just banish worked on the one dude, so let me go ahead and try to keep using it, see if it'll take out the other ones. So yeah, I didn't know that they were susceptible to the banish spell, but they are, and there they go. So I tried to avoid that one the other times that I fell down here. Instead I went down to the bottom and fought this dude instead. And the first time I fell down here, I wanted to fight all of them so that I could get on camera, 1, and 2, so that I could know which of the enemies were where. So the ones that were really tough, I wouldn't go through and fight again. This guy was pretty boss, but I mean, he wasn't no raccoon. So yeah, I think I just ultimated him until he finally fell. But he does hit pretty hard. That earth spell that he uses is pretty rough, but still not too bad. And then this guy here, basically, I think Holy was the way to beat him. And I tried a couple of different things. I tried using Stop, tried using some different status things on him. Found out he was weak to Holy, and so I just started spamming him with that. And after I started hitting him with Holy, he felt actually kind of quick. So, and he uses that thing that drops you down to the ground, and then immediately uses an earthquake spell. So he makes sure that you're on the ground before he uses it, which is kind of mean, but good strategy, I guess. And he should be going down pretty soon. And I think this is the one. Nope, I lied. There it is. I was one off. Okay, so this last dude is actually really easy to beat. You just keep spamming him with Banish, and eventually he will just get sucked into the void. I think I was having issues right here. Yeah, oh, that was a volume issue. I had to adjust the volume because it was like really, really loud. I put my headphones on and about blew my eardrum out. But yeah, I grabbed all of the chests that were in here too. Which there's quite a few chests in the Dragon's Den. And that was one of the little things where it's blocked. So this is the Skull Dragon that I was talking about. This guy was, this guy was a real hassle, because he, like I said, you had to drain all of his magic in order to beat him, which I didn't know at first, so I just kept hitting him with Holy, because it said that he was weak to Holy, and he died, and then he immediately came back, and I'm like, what is going on right now? And then I actually looked up online, on the wiki, and I was like, oh man, I gotta drain his all of his magic. So this was actually a really long battle. It probably took me about an hour just this battle alone. It took about an hour. So pretty rough stuff. But once you know how to beat him, he's not that bad because all he does pretty much is status affecting attacks, and so as long as you keep your health up and resurrect the people that get killed, he's not too bad. Not too bad at all. He does have a couple of power hits, but if you've got re-raise on everybody, the person that he hits will come back if they die, if their health is a little too low at the time that he hits them. But yeah, he's not too bad in general as far as that goes. It's just tedious and takes a long time. So at this point I'm just kind of rambling because I really am completely out of things to say about this guy, but he's just, the battle took forever and I don't want to cut it. So I'm just going to keep rambling on, I guess. I like too that the backgrounds, not the backgrounds, but the little stages in the Dragon's Den in general. There's several different like map styles, I guess. There's like a lava zone. There's the basic cave stuff. There's like the fortress type levels, and the one that we're in now with the bridges and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. They could have just made it all the same, but that probably would have gotten boring because, I mean, like I said, I've spent over 10 hours basically in the Dragon's Den, and looking at the same background for that entire time would have been miserable, I think. The other thing about this fight too is Osmosis only takes as much magic from him as what you are low on. So I had to use spells to lower my people's magic enough so that it made it worth using the Osmosis, basically. You'll notice Shadow doesn't really do a whole lot, and that's because I didn't know that before I started the fight, and he actually has on a relic that makes all of his magic spells only cost 1 MB. So whittling him down just would have been a huge waste of time. So I just used him for like spot healing, stuff like that. So yeah, and that was it. So long and tedious, but not hard at all, as long as you know what to do. Okay, so here you got to push this weight down onto that switch so that it keeps that rock out permanently. And I found this just out of coincidence, that switch right there. Just kind of exploring around and trying not to miss anything. And then we've got another dragon right here. I think this is the gold. No, holy dragon. Holy dragon! This guy was really like super easy. Like I beat him. I think the total time that I fought him was like 2 minutes, which is pretty good considering he's a boss, and like a higher level boss. Basically, I just spammed him with Ultima and kept my heals up, and he wasn't too bad. He did keep healing himself, which was really annoying, but all in all, not too bad. Like I said, I just kept spamming him, and eventually, I think when I got the final hit on him, he used, was it, it might have been Ultima, actually. Because I thought I used it, and then all my people, I had people that just like died. I was like, what happened? And then I realized that he was dying, so. Oh, no, it wasn't him. It must have been a different fight. I thought it was that one. Well, I lied. It might have already happened, to be honest. I'm just kind of commentating over top of this and zoning out a little bit while I'm doing it, to be honest. But that's okay. I've actually been staring at this footage for several hours while editing it. And at this point, I'm ready to get it put out to you guys. So I'm actually recording this Saturday, and it will be sitting on my computer until Friday when it goes out. So I think by the time you're seeing it, it's going to be a total of 4 weeks since I put out a Fantasy Friday. So I do apologize, but like I said, I've been having all kinds of problems, and I think this might be the point that I kind of got lost a little bit and wasn't sure exactly what to do. Actually, no, I'm getting ready to fight a dragon up here. This guy. There's a gold dragon. So he unlocks all of the lightning seals when you beat him, which one of the lightning seals was just on the screen a second ago before I fought him. He's another one that wasn't too bad. It was just a matter of knowing how to fight him. Basically, he absorbs magic and heals from it. He uses like runic right at the start of the battle, so you can only use physical attacks on him, which is a little annoying. I wasn't prepared for that at all. I was like, I'm gonna go for it, and yeah, this was the result. So, still not too bad. I saw the message right at the start of the fight, but I didn't quite catch what all of it said, and so I had to kind of learn by doing. Cast a couple spells and saw that it was actually healing him slightly. So then after that, I just stopped and used items for healing and physical attacks for damaging. And of course, it took Go-Go right back down, as well as Cyan that time. Then Cyan right back down again. Basically, those two he kept working on and he kept knocking down. So, but right there, I got him. And there goes the lightning seals getting all knocked off the screen, or knocked off the map. So those gates are now all open. And actually, he was blocking quite a few of them. I think he had a total of 4, which was the most of any of them. I don't know what my dog's barking at upstairs. It's really annoying though. Okay, so that was the clue on how to get into the dragon. But I wasn't really 100% sure what it was talking about. I figured it out eventually, but yeah, there will be a little bit of running around right here. So I found one of the switch rooms right there. Basically, you have to trigger all 3 of those switches, and you trigger the first 2, and then the third party that gets up there goes to the teleporter, and that's the party that fights the dragon. So you kind of got to be strategic when you're doing it. You want to make sure that the last party to get up there is the one that you actually want to do the fight. So I wanted it to be Shadow's party, so I had to make sure that the other 2 were on their pedestals before I put Shadow on his. And it's a lot of flip a switch, move off the switch so the next person can do this, and a lot of back and forth. So I had to deal with that, which was fun, but also tedious. So yeah. Basically, I had to figure out how to get the other 2 to their switches as well, which I printed up a map of all of the areas. There's a total of 11 maps for this area, if that tells you anything about the size of it. But even using the maps, it was hard to tell exactly where you got to go because the maps didn't show which switches do what. So there was a little bit of trial and error as far as that went. And I wasn't really 100% sure where to go with Edgar either. So where is it? Right here. I think is where I kind of figured it out a little bit. No, it's right here. I figured out I needed to go back and in through the other area, and I also needed Shadow with me in order to flip a switch. So yeah. I wasn't sure why the door wasn't opening at this point, so I kept fumbling around trying to figure out how to get the door to open, and then I read this, and then I went over to read the other one and found this. So then I had to look this up to figure out how to do it. Basically, you gotta spell the Dragon King, I think it is, or the King of Dragons, out of the words. So once you know what you need to spell, it's not too bad. So that got me into here, and then I was able to fumble around a bit and realize that I needed a second person in here in order to finish gathering all of the things. So there are a couple of monster in the boxes in here, so this is the first of them that I fought, and then there will be another one directly afterwards. But none of them were too hard. Definitely not as hard as the dragons were. And not as hard as the guys that were down in the pit. So this guy was a little bit of a pain. As you can see, he knocked my party down pretty good, but and this guy too. He started off the fight by casting slow on everybody, which was just annoying. So I think it's pretty soon here I cast Haste 2 on everybody. Yeah, right there. So, or Haste Ga, I think is what they call it. And then just spam him with Ultima until he finally croaks. Which actually will be happening here very shortly. Right there. Alright, so, next up, kept going, and eventually I get to this point where I can't go any further, and so I come out here, and I realize, I try to grab this chest, that, yeah, there's a switch there, and that opens that door, so I need a second person. So, I had to leave all the way back out of here. Sorry for the really quick footage. Hoping it's not giving anybody a headache. Kind of giving me one. But yeah, I had to get Edgar over there as well. You'll notice that when I'm running with the characters that aren't Shadow, it can get a little bit choppy. That's because those are areas that I got in fights and I had to edit it out. So yeah, fun times. So I got in there, and then I got Edgar, and then move Shadow into position, and then I moved Edgar up and into position there, and then I was able to put Shadow, bring him down and go through the door, and then proceed to the last room of this area, which was right here. A couple of chests and a monster in the box. So went ahead and took care of this guy pretty quick. He wasn't too bad. I think it was like 2 or 3 Ultimas took him out. Yeah, so not terribly difficult. And then final chest, and then it was time to leave. So went ahead and started backing out, and then I backed Edgar out, got him all the way back, which he had gone a pretty decent distance to get where he was. It's a lot of staircases there, but I took him and I moved him into here and onto the switch. Then I was able to take Shadow out and all the way back, up and around this way, and through this door and on into the teleporter. But I wanted to run back real quick and save. So I did that real quick and forgot to edit it out. And didn't realize it until I did it. So, all right, this is Kaiser Dragon. So, this footage I actually had to speed up 3 times in order to get it at a decent area that it wasn't taking forever. It was this one. Well, no, I take that back. This one I only sped up twice. The Skull Dragon I had to speed up 3 times. And Ultimate Weapon I actually only had to speed up once. So this guy only got sped up twice. So sorry if there was any confusion there. And I think I sped up the Ultima Weapon once, and then I sped it up like halfway this time. Because unfortunately you can only speed up the video so fast. Oh, there we go. So congratulations, Kaiser's dead. Basically, there's an island next to Molbez, I guess, that I can go to. There's supposed to be like some boss there. So I immediately go back in and fight the Ultimate Weapon. So, yeah, this is pretty much it, guys. This is the final battle for the video. I don't know that I'm going to make another video quite like this. The next segment, the final segment, is Kefka's Tower. So that will probably take a couple of videos to get through, but I'm hoping to have it done by the end of October, and I hope that you will come back and join me for it. So here goes this guy. He's dead, and I hope that you enjoyed the video, guys. Yeah, check out the other different series that I've done on the channel, and come back next week, hopefully, for Kefka's Tower. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye!
Hey, what's up? Thanks for watching.